The debate video is not published yet.
Okay.
Still working on it.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think I'm going to go through this couple surveys that we've done the past 2 years and use those questions to create a survey for prospective candidates who want to run. I think that's what let's do. And
Good afternoon.
so yesterday I did a Go Ruck challenge in Manchester. Lasted for like about 5 hours.
And what is that?
It's a a crucible style endurance event. Lasts for about 5 hours. You're rucking with a 30-pound weight in your bag with a team, getting coached along by a former member of American Special Forces, and I represented. I wore my Defend the Guard shirt to the entire time for that one, representing Defend the Guard. And I thought that would be a better one to wear, as the theme was 1776, and I didn't want to wear my NHexit shirt for fear they would try to smoke me further, more than we already got smoked. So that was yesterday. It was a good day.
Did anyone comment on the Defend the Guard?
The cadre, who was former Delta Force, he inquired about that, and I told him what it was, and he seemed to be a little bit intrigued by it. So nobody else, no other participants noticed that. That's just it's how I wanted to. It's how I spent my day yesterday. I wanted to share that with you guys. Was just mentioning to Mr. Penguin before he jumped in, Ian, I think I want to take some of the questions that we've used for the two surveys the past 2 years and use them to create a survey for prospective, candidates to run on our website.
Cool. Seems like a good time to start doing that. That way you have it ready to roll for next year.
Yeah. The filing period for next year is the 11th through the 15th of September. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance Legislative Summit is going to be August 24th. So I've got some nullification bills that I'll be submitting online for that, and I'll also be pitching to the nullification caucus as well. And as far as the CACR is concerned, it's going to be up to the reps' decision if they want to go through it with it or not. And there's some good reasons to do it. And I know we have 7 pro-independence reps for sure.
You said the Liberty Alliance is the 24th of August?
Yep, Legislative Summit, yep.
And do they have a location yet?
They do. I just can't remember what it was. I jumped in on their meeting yesterday to submit a nomination for Liberty Activist of the Year. And so they were talking about that. I just can't remember where it's going to be. I just, it might be the same place as last year. I just can't remember exactly where that is.
Yeah, that was in Manchester.
Yeah.
All right, let me make a note on my calendar here. And you said the bill submission is September, was it 11th through 18th?
The 15th, 4 days. 11, 12, 13, 14, sorry, 5 days. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Alright. Got it. Mr. Penguin, did you ever end up figuring out how many NHexit shirts you sold at Porkfest? I was seeing them everywhere. I was barely there.
Let's see here. Yeah. I mean, I probably sold like 5 or 6 of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that many, but you know, people have bought them at other events and things, so it's, you know, they're getting out there.
Okay. Well, it's a really good shirt.
I
It's
think
a good.
I think we sold more at Liberty Forum, if I recall correctly.
Really?
I know we sold like 7 9-pack shirts then too.
How many did you say you sold? I'm sorry, I was distracted.
I don't think it was more than 5 or 6 of them.
Wow. Okay. Then maybe people were just wearing them because they already had them.
I think it was probably a mix of the two, but yeah.
Maybe once we sell 1.4 million NHexit shirts, that's when we know it's time to have the vote.
Right?
Or once we get 1.4 million Twitter followers, that's
Well, we did do the aerial banner over Bike Fest or Bike Week just prior to the beginning of Pork Fest, and
that's pretty fun.
yeah, it did 2 hours. So we did 5 hours originally when we did Manchester, Concord, and Nashville, and we did that one long flight. And the website got like 180 visitors, and then we did 2 hours over Bike Fest, and we got about 90 visitors. So about similar results, it seems, between both events. But we got much better pictures. There was a Free Stater, Micah, who Alu knows. He, I guess, runs the Free State Barbell thing in Manchester. He happened to be at Bike Week, and a couple of his buddies were with him, and they said, "Hey, aren't those your friends?" And they pointed up, and he grabbed like some really good photos. So we definitely got some good pics this time. The next one I'm thinking of is in Keene. There's every year they have a music festival, and it happens this year. It happens on the same day as the Art in the Park Fest. So there's 2 festivals going on the same day in Keene. So I'm thinking that would be a good day. It's like September 2nd, if I recall correctly. So that I think would be a good day to hit up.
Are you talking about another flight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Silly people at the New Hampshire Independence Festival didn't want the New Hampshire Independence Pack or even the foundation to be represented.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like,
That's
that person has pronouns in their signature, so it pretty much tells you everything you need to know.
I mean, I'll follow up with Jeremy, see if we can maybe get LPNH to a table there, But
Yeah, it'll be interesting if they turn down the Libertarians when they've admitted that they're taking in Republicans and Democrats. That would not be a good look.
I'm just kind of, it's all the more reasons to secede. When the Independence Museum for the American Revolution doesn't even want to respect a current independence movement, like it's so out of touch that all the more reasons to secede.
Wow.
When people who believe in secession are married to that idea.
Yeah, it just goes to show how we've got a long way to go. Like the people who should be our, at the very least, open or friendly, if not allies, are hostile.
And going back to something that we have a long way to go, I do think that the results of this year's survey, the culture and climate of the state, to me, matches those results more than last year's results. actually is like, okay, good. This feels right. It's because 16%, you can that's you can hide that. That's hidden. That's hidden. So it's right now. Well, it's like advancing liberty. I know. What did I see? Marjorie Taylor Greene gave a tweet the other day about. She's like, people should still be submitting bills even if they don't think that they're gonna pass. Like people should be going on their convictions to get this on the record that people care about these things. I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad lead to follow. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely true. I mean, that's how we got as far as we got, thanks to Matt and Mike Sylvia and the rest of the people that built forward. And Matt knows that, and he seems like he's ready to roll with doing it over again next year.
Okay.
Keep up the momentum.
Cool. If Matt wants to do it, I'm fine with that. I know our vice chair, Derek, is in opposition to that idea, having to do with, the overall, what's it called, the status of, like, the split in the House and the presidential election also happening. So I was going to summarize.
That's all the more reason to do it.
Okay, well, hey, I like the optimism. Okay, all right. I want to give the pros and cons to Matt, but I think we should go through with it. I'm just curious as to how, so I'm just curious as to how many more people out there are, in support of secession right now. Like, we got 7 reps for sure. The 6 people we endorsed, and then Emily Phillips, she's a pro-independence, and then, because everybody else who voted for CACR 32, is gone. And then, I went last year and I already tried to reach out to all the people that Alu had already found and tried to collect more people. And from that, we got the nullification caucus because we couldn't find enough actual pro-liberty reps.
Right.
We definitely got 7 people who want to do it. I know, so 2024, I know Jason also isn't running for re-election again. He's running for sheriff.
Gerhard?
Yes.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Yes. So
That's too bad. I think he would do,
yeah.
I think he could get reelected if he's current state rep. The odds that he's going to get in versus some cop or whatever seem pretty low.
Yeah, that's and I would like him to stay as a state rep because that's just another pro-independent state rep.
He's been good.
As far as that issue is concerned, we want.
Somebody should mention that to him, just that he's going to be more likely to get reelected than he will to run as sheriff.
I mean, is he going up against an incumbent?
I don't know right now. I can't remember which. No, he's. Where does he live again? He lives up north. Okay, not so far north, but he lives Northfield, Franklin.
Lakes region, right?
What's up?
Isn't he in like the Lakes region?
Yeah.
That's got to be a Republican sheriff.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to have a chance against an incumbent.
Yeah.
Well, he's got time to figure it out. But I mean, he's been really. I think he's been very effective as a state rep. He's given some good speeches and has done some bipartisan stuff. It seems like he's done good work building bridges with some of the people on the left who can support us on things like drug decriminalization and police accountability and stuff like that. But I think what do we have last time? Wasn't it just 7 people, 7 state reps as the co-sponsors of the bill? So
No, it was like there was like 12 co-sponsors. Hold on, let me look it up again.
No, there weren't 12 co-sponsors. We got more votes than we had co-sponsors. Yeah. I think what we had was there was 8 or 9 co-sponsors, but then 1 or 2 of them dropped out before the thing went in.
Like Terosian, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. So I know Alu told me that 80 state reps had confided to him that that they supported secession.
80?
Yeah, that's what when he first sat down with me, he told me 80 state reps, and I'm not sure where how that is possible because it's like where would they be? I certainly would have discovered them. I feel like I would have discovered them.
Well, he's probably got a list. Knowing Alu, he makes lists of everything. So.
Well, he did give me a list though of people who out real quick. It was, who did I meet with finally? It was great. Caleb Dyer. I met Caleb, who's on the board of the foundation, and I had a great conversation with him. And he told me, he's like, Matt, like, there's not 80 reps who are pro independence. If at the most, it's probably 20 right now. And you know,
that sounds more realistic.
Yeah, and I mean, we've got our 13 from last year. We've got the 5, who aren't there. Like, and anyone who, there's also like Josh Yokilla is back out again, right? He's not pro independence anymore. He's pro vote. He believes that something that should be brought to the vote. Right. He doesn't necessarily believe in independence.
Yeah.
But so, I think that we've I'm gonna do the survey, right? I'm just wondering who yes, we can reach out to the House and look for co-sponsors, but I know the best people to ask for co-sponsors are people who are already in the House. And we know we got the 7 state reps right there who can be co-sponsors. We got Matt, Jason, Diane, Paul, Glenn. Who was the last person again? Emily Phillips, and then one other person. Hold on. Now they could be a sponsor. Those 7 could all be sponsors for the CACR.
Right.
Well,
whatever Alu's list is, we every one of those on that list should get hit up again because they probably had an objection last time, and then we've come up with these answers to those objections of, the main objection is, well, I can't get reelected. Okay, well, we've proven that you can get reelected. Matt Santonastasso was attacked specifically for supporting secession, and he got back in. And then, of course, we've shown that secession has some support amongst the voters, especially the Republican voters. So, again, answering objections. I mean, it's not overwhelming support, but it is there. So it's not like they're going to be taking a totally obscure position.
I mean, so right now, okay, so correction, there's 6 state reps who openly support secession.
And then Yokel is the 7th who will vote for the bill?
I don't think Josh wants to be a part of this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I even asked, I think it was just too much for him to worry about. He didn't believe in it enough. He still got reelected, which is good. So that's okay. I'm just wondering how much. Yeah, I just know that right now I have more candidates who I want to support for office next year than we actually have in office right now. And I just know that right now we don't have a lot of funds right now. It's like we got to do a fundraiser. I just know I need help planning fundraisers. Back when I was in the Air Force, I got so good at planning events. I helped plan the air show. I helped plan a dinner, and I helped plan a German Armed Forces military proficiency badge competition on base. And it's like, why is it so? I'm thinking, why was it so much easier for me to plan and organize stuff then and not now? It's like, oh my gosh, because everything was right there on base. Like everything's right in the neighborhood. And now we're dealing with the whole state, and not everything's like right at my fingertips. I'm like, this is why I'm balking at getting events prepared, because it's not like we're all in the same town. Because we definitely need when we talked about this at our NIPAC meeting last month, and still got to create we have to create an elevator pitch for donors. It's like we talked to 3 groups of people. We talked to legislators, we talked to donors, we talked to volunteers. Mm-hmm. We want legislators to support the legislation we want. We want donors to give us money that believes in the legislators and the legislation we want. We want volunteers to help us out with the campaigns, like with door knocking or things like that. Those are like 3 groups of people that we have to, as the PAC, we have to coordinate and make sure that happens. And I just know that I absolutely love these Sunday meetings, and I just wish the other guys on the PAC were here a little bit more. I know Connor's been great having him jump on board, because I know Derek's been so busy with Defend the Guard. Having Connor on board has been good. I reason. I wish Russell showed up a little bit more, but like at least we know what the workload is. It is a lot of work. It's like, oh my gosh. Like part of me's like I'm glad we also are a ways away, because it's like, okay, like we don't have to spread ourselves so thin so early. Like,
well, I think we also want to find out from the nullification caucus, even if the people who are against or unsure on the fence or against independence at this moment would still support the bill later, just on the basis of putting it to a vote. Like someone like Tom Mannion, who is really friendly, really pro-liberty. Like I would be shocked if Tom would say no to just putting it to a vote. So there may still be a group of people who's kind of like the Josh Okellas of today that are skeptical of independence, but willing to leave it to the people to decide. So that's again another important aspect to put out there, people. This isn't a vote on independence. Just keep hitting it over and over again. And maybe the more times this thing comes back, the more we can pound that into people's head.
yeah,
So like, I think it's a big mistake. It would be a big mistake to skip a year on this, because we can do it once every 2 years. So we should do it once every 2 years, just like we should keep the polling going, every year or every other year. We got to keep the momentum building. And ultimately, it doesn't matter what we think about it or what Derek thinks or whoever's against it. If Matt Santanastasso,
wants to do it. Yep, that's correct.
Going.
Yep. Yep, so. Absolutely.
And he knows, he's well aware of all the benefits that have come out of it, like the NBC Boston documentary. I mean, that alone is huge publicity for what we're doing up here. And they cited that bill as their key reason as to why they did what they did. So they're not the only ones. Plus, we got to keep competition with Texas. I mean, TNN down there is kicking butt right now. I think they're trying to get something on the ballot through getting petition signatures. Now, I don't know what level they've got to acquire. I've not heard the numbers as far as what their goal is, but that, I believe, is what they're currently in the midst of. And they seem optimistic. They seem to think they can get it done. So that would put them ahead of us if they can get something on the ballot.
We're up to 177 signatures for independence on the petition right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to pull some fake ass signatures off too. It was I probably had to knock like 12 fake ones off.
All right, cool. And you saw the Alu sign twice, right?
Oh no, I didn't see that. No.
Yeah, he signed in the very beginning, and then he signed again recently. I appreciate his enthusiasm.
Yeah, some hater got in there. I was looking at the list, and I can see the IP addresses on my side.
Oh, fun.
7 different ones from the same IP address, and they were all like insulting names. So I was like, yeah, okay, delete.
Yeah, it should only show people who actually support it.
Right. And I'm okay if someone signs from outside of New Hampshire. I'm not going to delete like someone in another state from signing, but it is nice that most of our signatures are from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the real reason for that is to get an email list of people that we can ping out things to, like the most important things. So like when there was the hearing, the public hearing, I sent an email. I don't email the list very often. It's like once or twice a year.
Oh.
That's really the reason for that.
This makes me happy to know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what I learned from the Reopen New Hampshire people. That's how they really got their shit going, was they passed a petition around back in the day and got thousands of people to sign the petition. It doesn't matter if the petition actually gets seen by the politicians or what the politicians think. You get a really great email list of interested people that you can then keep in the loop and keep active. So that's the real goal there.
Okay, so here's an idea. We have an email list that NHexit.us has acquired. Ian, could we borrow that to actually, do a call out for candidates? Okay. This makes me okay. Good. Yes, I'm very happy.
That's good.
Think about it. If all 177 signers run, that's a whole quarter of the house. No.
Well, that's not likely, but maybe if 10% of them do, then that's still
yeah. Okay.
Don't raise your hopes. Don't raise your hopes too high there. These are just petition signers.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
But they are petition signers, which puts them above the average person. So they have an above-average interest in what we're doing. So they certainly would be interested in reading about it and potentially supporting in other ways.
I was here for a month before I decided that like it's not going to be perfect anymore. Let's just secede here, New Hampshire. Let's just do it. Believe in New Hampshire. And then I signed it. I was here like a month. It took me being a month here to like be like, you know what, like Dumby's not gonna get put back together again. Let's just this is where the momentum is.
Yeah. Did anybody happen to see the? Has there been video yet? Oh no, I guess Free State Project did post it. The video of the RFK Jr. getting asked the question by Carla. I think they posted the full interview or the full speech, but I haven't looked at it yet. Has anyone seen that? Welcome, by the way, Daniel. We were just talking about you. Were your ears bleeding?
And just like that, poof, I appear. I'm sorry I'm late. I saw it and I had some time and I thought I'd pop in.
I was just asking, I was wondering aloud, what is the goal? I've seen you guys posting about getting petition signatures to get a question on the ballot. What's the goal you guys are trying to reach and how's it going?
100,000 for the Republican primary and about 53, a little north of 53,000 for the Democrat primary.
Oh, so it'll be a primary ballot question. Why is there such a difference? Does it have to do with population?
No, it's so you have to understand Texas is not a true INR state, right? So we don't really have citizen initiative except in one very specific narrow case that no one seems to understand why it's in the law, but it's there. So in the Texas election code, voters have an opportunity by petition to force a question on the primary ballot. So any parties that nominate by primary are susceptible, right? So that means Republicans and Democrats. So what that percentage is it's a percentage of the votes cast in the last gubernatorial election. So all votes cast for governor in that primary, it's a percentage of that. So we've got to hit about 100,000. It's really about 97,000, but you've got to throw a little lanyap in there for, verification errors, things of that nature, and they can actually flunk it with a sample. And if they pull the sample and 3% or more of the signatures are invalid, they can chuck out the whole thing. So we've got to be super, super careful. But so that's why we set the goal at 100K on the Republican and 60K on the Democrat.
And this would be for 2024, so you got some time.
Yeah, we have 180 days to collect all the signatures. So we officially kicked off June 6th. Well, June 5th, that night is when we announced, and we're setting a target for December the 1st because that would be the ahead of the fourth quarter meeting for both political parties. So that's we need to get it all in, make sure we get any of the stragglers verified, and then we sort of jam it right on them and just say, look, you don't have a choice. You got to put it on a ballot.
Now, this would it be like a referendum, like taking people's temperature? What would the question be? I'm sure you've worked out the text.
Yeah. So what we're doing is, if you look at the Texas Independence Referendum Act, the question in there, and of course not the one that Biederman filed 2 sessions back, but the one that's actually filed this session in our draft, you'll see the question in there, should the state of Texas reassert its status as an independent nation? So it is, essentially a question that was constructed after looking at the 2 Quebec referendums, the Scottish referendum, mean, all of these different ones. So essentially, what it does is it qualifies for a true expression of political will for the direction that they want to go. And ultimately, even though this is not the final vote per se, what this does is it serves to build an enormous amount of political pressure. If it goes on the primary ballot for both parties and comes back in the numbers that we believe that it will, then it's going to be problematic for these guys moving into the next legislative session. But there's also another. This fits strategically for another reason, and we've made no secret about it. So, one of the things about independence referendums that is just it kind of I don't even know how to describe it. So let me just tell you without the context, and you'll get it. Independence referendums worldwide over the last 100 years, average voter turnout is 85%. Okay, so when it essentially means that no other issue out there gets a fire under voters' butts than an independence referendum. They want to be able to have their voices heard. Now, typically that 85% applies for the final vote. No confirmatory votes, no temperature taking or whatever. However, the one thing that we've got here in the States that is not reflected in a lot of independence referendums around the world is that people don't get to answer this question very often in any shape, form, or fashion in an official way. So by putting this on the primary ballot, we're not expecting an 85% voter turnout, right? That's Pollyanna. But if we double normal primary turnout, and again, in a presidential election year, it's going to be higher than the midterm years, which is when our state level races are. But you double that turnout, and then you couple it with the recruitment of candidates that will be on those same primary ballots that are tied to the Texas issue. You've got an opportunity to effectively run the table in the primaries where the vast majority of these elections are decided anyway. So it really is. It gives us an opportunity to kill two birds with one stone, and really just kind of break the back of the political establishment, which is ultimately what we know we're going to need to do to both get and win a referendum on independence.
Love it. It sounds doable too. I mean, 100,000 signatures in a state of 26 million or something like that. That's not a lot.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've got about 16 million registered voters here. Okay, so the challenge is that because the powers that be do not like expressions of political will that don't come through the normal structure, they make collecting petition signatures extraordinarily difficult, right? So, up until this time, because we actually ran this petition campaign last time, there's a whole process that you have to go through where you have to read the voters a statement, you have to collect very specific information that most people don't carry, and it was all done on paper. So this go around, we've launched an electronic petition that satisfies all the criteria specified in the Texas Election Code, and we've got lawyers that are willing to go duke it out with one or both political parties if they don't want to accept it, and we're on firm legal ground. So it's still going to be hard. I mean, we had the incident a couple of weeks ago where our peer-to-peer texting company shut us down because they didn't agree with our values. So that hampered us. We still deal with email service providers dumping our emails into spam folders. So, if we can communicate with our entire supporter base through the duration of this campaign, it should be a cinch to get it across the finish line. But, we don't know. We just keep grinding away at it until we get these people to get their signature on the petition.
That's awesome. Are you doing paid petitioners?
No. We're using all volunteers. We priced it out the last 2 years ago when we went to do the petition campaign, and competition effort was going to cost us about $800,000 with almost no guarantee that we would hit the number.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I'm looking at if I'm looking at an 800 grand spend, I'm not going to spend it on somebody to go out there and collect petitions. I'll spend it on infrastructure, supplying volunteers, all the things that help grow the movement, as opposed to giving it to a bunch of people that are supposed to collect signatures but offer zero guarantee that they'll hit the mark.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, it got quiet all of a sudden. Man, that's awkward.
It happens.
Go ahead. Heard somebody there. I was just gonna say you came in after we'd already been yammering for a while on stuff going on. We did another aerial banner, and definitely does spike the views on the website. Certainly is going to raise some awareness. That it's not translating into anything direct per se, but it's fun to see it happen. It's fun to see the pictures that people are posting online of that.
Yeah, that was I love the pictures as well. It was great to see them.
All right, you guys. Well, you got Daniel here from Texas. Anybody got any questions for him? He's got all the expertise you could possibly imagine on this issue. We were talking earlier about doing the CACR 32, the constitutional amendment. Once again, I think we got at least one state rep, maybe more, who are willing to put their names on it. So I think we're gonna go for round 2 of that, hopefully in the next coming year. So you guys will have your thing on the ballot, and we'll be having our fight over putting something on the ballot here. So that should be good for publicity's sake. Have both states going at it.
That's great. Well, I'll tell you, I've done probably the last 2 weeks about a half dozen media interviews, and when the opportunity arises, the question, they're starting to ask the question about other states, and so I always bring up New Hampshire.
Oh, thanks.
And invariably, I mention the fact that this issue was actually debated on the floor of your house.
Yeah.
And it just blows them away. They're like, how come I never heard about this? So talk to your colleagues. It's not their fault. They're shouting it from the mountaintops, and you guys are the ones that are not paying attention to the fact that states are getting ready to bounce out of here. I mean, we're getting ready to go, and you guys are acting like this is coming out of nowhere, and it's not. So yeah, good on y'all. I mean, get that thing filed, man. Just keep pounding away at these guys until they get it done.
You said you're getting multiple interviews. Are those coming in national, or are they about half Texas, half national? What's the breakdown on that for you?
Let's see. So, we get a lot of Real America's Voice, OAN kind of stuff. And those are, they're great. I mean, they provide us with content, but we get, so I would say that'd be the bulk. Guys along those lines. Some podcasting stuff, some local. I mean, it's a mix, and it varies from week to week.
Are you just getting these based on merit? Are they just their producers reaching out through, they know you already and they booked you before and so they're coming back to you? Or do you have somebody who's out there trying to book you?
Yes and yes for both of them. So we've got a PR and comms firm that we've contracted out. Plus we've got a hired gun that we've been using for years, that he basically has a list, so guys that he works, shows that he works, and when they need guests, he runs the pitch. So it's really a combination.
That's something we need to do here, is get somebody on board with PR. Certainly the organizers of like the New Hampshire IPAC and Foundation for New Hampshire Independence, I don't think they've got the time for it, but if we could find the right PR firm, I think that would be the thing. Are your guys nationally the PR firm, or are they Texas based?
The one guy that's been working with us for a long time is Texas based, but to get us some increased exposure for some of the larger media outlets, we actually went with a PR firm that's I think they've got offices state rep in New Hampshire.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Care to share?
Yeah, it's Yvonne Bailey. You guys remember Yvonne?
Oh, yeah. I don't know her personally, but yeah, I remember her.
Yeah. So, she's the head of Flow Communications, and so they do not just PR work, but a chunk of comms work for us as well. So.
And what do you mind sharing what they cost?
I don't know that I'm allowed to say.
I see.
But
you got the friend price?
No, I don't know that I have the friend price. I think I have the holy crap, this is intriguing price, and man, it's going to be a heavy lift. So I think I'm on that pricing schedule.
But she's come through. She's booked you successfully.
Yeah. And a lot of it, they're fine. So our existing guy, and I could actually put you in touch with Josh. He would appreciate it. But he's a little more direct on the Texan issue with his folks, and they love it. And it's kind of it's some Texas, but a lot of outside of Texas as well. Whereas Flo's approach is picking very specific newsworthy things that we're doing that may be of interest. So like when we did the Facebook lawsuit, or when Call Hub,
right,
our peer guys canceled us, or when we sued the state rep for saying we were guilty of treason. It's things like that have a bridge into what we do. And so it's really two different approaches, and it works.
Since you mentioned it, what's the latest on that Facebook situation? Where's that at?
Well, we're waiting. Right now, we already had our scheduling hearing with the federal judge, which is interesting because Meta wanted it not only remanded to federal, or they wanted it sent to federal court, but they also wanted it relocated to California because it's in terms of service. They basically say if you sue them, you have to sue them in federal court in California. So we had our scheduling conference with the federal judge, who did everything he could to he held the scheduling conference in Chambers, which was interesting. But he did everything he could to convince Meta to settle, to basically go to arbitration or to settle. They said no. We said, cool, we're having a jury trial anyway, so no problems, right? So scheduling for this, it is really dependent upon a couple of things. Really one main thing. That there's the net choice case that was filed that specifically deals with the law that was passed in Texas and the one that was passed in Florida. Not in relation to our use of it, but in relation to the Attorney General's ability to sue under the particular law, right? So the expectation was that the Supreme Court, which the net choice case is there, would drop a ruling on it at the tail end of June or early July. And so since they've been at a pretty regular clip over the last week or so dropping decisions, we expect a resolution in that case. So if the one thing that's pretty unlikely is that the court will strike down the law in its entirety. I mean, it may play havoc with the Attorney General's right to sue, but it won't affect the private action aspect of it, which is what we're doing. So although we don't expect it to affect our case at all, the expectation is that probably, it wouldn't surprise me if it was next week or the week after we get a decision in that, then we'll move into discovery. And they seemed, Meta's lawyers seemed pretty anxious to depose me, and then I just looked at him and laughed, and then he didn't seem so anxious anymore. So,
that's to be a fun one to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the status.
Well, yeah, if you want to share your publicity guys or gals and guys with me, feel free to shoot that over on an email, whatever's convenient, ian@freetalklive.com. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't want to step on your toes or anything like that, and I don't know if they would be willing to take us on, because that would potentially dilute your efforts to get booked. But I mean, it's certainly worth having a conversation with them to see what they think.
Well, look, here's the bottom line, and this is what I think we we all need to come to grips with is when on this particular issue, you know, and I hate to bring up the old cliche, but a rising tide does raise all ships, you know. And so, you know, the fact that you guys are getting, I mean, you know, we can't take every media request. I mean, we just can't. And there are some that we turn down. And I would love to see those slots or even more filled with what you guys are doing, because the news of the progress that y'all are making helps everyone.
Yeah.
Right. It helps us. It helps everyone. So I'm not stingy about any of this stuff at all. I mean, I think the more we can elevate the overall issue of self-determination, the better off we all are.
Yeah, we'll take them all as far as I'm concerned. I mean, whatever they want, anybody that wants to talk to us, we're jumping on it.
Well, I'll talk to Josh. I'll send him a text as soon as I jump off of here, and just say, look, I got you a potential client. So, and then I'll forward him along your info.
All right, cool. And also, Yvonne, if you don't mind as well, because I imagine she's still got some connections up here with New Hampshire media.
Yeah. Helpful. Yep. I'll do that too. I've got my stand up with them. I think Thursday maybe. I don't know. We're on holiday schedule. I mean, everybody else is, obviously. We're not. But
yeah, this is key time. Key time to be getting the word out, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, by the way, sir, why do you think you're stuffing a hot dog in your mouth?
Yeah. Oh, man. I appreciate your efforts, man. You guys are awesome down there. Very inspirational.
Man, I hated that I missed Pork Fest this year. We just couldn't make it work. So, so you guys had a phenomenal time and great response. And man, I'm so proud of what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the debate. I haven't seen it yet. I heard Alu Axelman cleaned up the other guy's clock.
Yes.
Who was he debating?
He was debating.
So hey Daniel. So we had a debate between Alu from the Foundation for New Hampshire Independence and Stephen Valet from the Club 75 Alliance. Stephen Valet is also the treasurer for the foundation, so it was kind of like it was an internal debate, of course. We were debating unilateral versus multilateral secession, and the votes that were cast before, it was like 13, in support of. So the resolution was the New Hampshire needs permission from DC to secede. That was the resolution, and yeah. Steve Valet being the affirmative, Alu being the negative. So the votes at the beginning of we did a traditional Oxford-style debate with our vice chair Derek moderating. It was 13 in the negative, meaning in support of unilateral secession, 1 in 0 in the affirmative, and then maybe 10 people were undecided. By the end of the debate, it was like 21 votes in favor of the negative, which was unilateral secession, and 1 person in favor of multilateral. So we're already also in a very specific. There's already I bet if we did that same debate with an audience in front of St. Anselm College, maybe we get different results.
Yeah.
But so what's significant about that was the ability for Alu's arguments to influence an undecided sect, where he was able to basically a third, get the same amount, basically double the amount of support for unilateral secession in the course of a single debate. So it definitely, inspired confidence. And Steve told me afterward, like, hey, I'm not bothered that I lost, because it's like it's good for secession.
Yeah, right.
So, but what this means is like it's just great that Steve with the Club 75 will be basically creating a nice backup plan, and and in the meantime you might as well just keep plugging on with the CACR.
Right. Well, I'm going to be on a panel with Steve in I think like 10 days or something in Memphis.
That's correct. Yep. And I'm actually going to be down there with you guys too.
Oh, rock and roll, man. All right.
So cool. Yeah, my brother lives in Memphis, so I'm looking forward to that, and we'll be talking about independence and
This is Freedom Fest you guys talking about?
That's correct. Yep.
What's the panel exactly? What's the topic?
Hang on, man. You know, you have to remember, I don't manage my own schedule, so I have to look at these things. Hang on, I don't. I know we're doing two things, right? I know that I've got. They gave me a 10-minute slot on the main speaker stage. I really hope they brought a shepherd's hook, because trying to box me into 10 minutes is it's not easy. So let's see. So we've got. I'm getting there. So the 14th is the main stage thing. Okay, here we go. The 15th is Unleashing Liberty: How Independence Movements Are the Viable Path to Restoring Freedom.
Yeah, and I'll be sitting. Steve's going down with there's a few of us volunteering to go. Of course, I'm going. I'll be. We'll be sitting at the table, so I won't be doing any speaking or on any panels. That'll be Steve for this time, but certainly we'll be at the table talking about independence.
Rock and roll. Well, look, we got a booth there as well, and would love for you guys to come hang out with us over there.
Okay, yeah.
We'll mix it up.
The who's who in secession land.
There you go. I mean, look, if we come out of there without a group photo, then we are pathetic. I mean, that's just we at least need to take a photo just to send a shiver down the spine of the centralists. That's exciting.
Yeah,
that's great. So when is that video? When do you think that video is going to be available?
Mr. Penguin.
Yeah, that's a good question. As soon as I have a chance to do something with it, I guess I have to go through and.
Dude, that is totally not your real name.
Mr. Penguin? No, I'm Christopher Wade. I have a business, Think Penguin, and we sell computers, and so that's where Mr. Penguin came from. It's a nick online.
Oh, rock and roll.
I
love it.
Mr. Penguin is also one of Batman's villains.
Oh, that's funny.
Not Penguin. Sorry.
Well, I'm glad you went with that instead of Mr. Clayface, because that'd just be weird. Oh my God, nobody got the Batman joke. I'm really hurt.
Sorry. Oh yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. I went to Freedom Fest in 2019. It was the only time I ever went, and it was a very, very well attended event. So I think you guys are gonna have a good time out there. There's a lot of libertarians. There's a lot of conservative types around, so it sort of mixes the two crowds together. And you'll definitely find a lot of people that are interested, and you'll probably find a lot of people that are hostile or skeptical. So it should be an interesting time.
Good, I love hostile. I mean, there's nothing that makes me happier. By the way, watch your inboxes because you guys are going to get an invitation to come participate in TexitCon. We're doing a convention at the Waco Convention Center. God, I don't know, later this year. I think November. I think is when it is. But be watching for an invitation because I know at a minimum there's going to be a panel with as many independence movements in North America as we could possibly squeeze in.
Sounds great. Wish I could leave New Hampshire, but unfortunately the feds got me tied down. But I bet these guys will go.
Well, I know, man, and I'm very sorry about the situation. The best way we can help you is to get us all out of here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, it's been a good meeting today, guys. Anything else fresh? Anything we're missing? Daniel, give me that info when you get a chance, and I'll get cracking on that with those guys and see if we can get them under a contract or something.
Yeah, rock and roll. Hey, do me a favor when this is over with. I think you may have my phone number. I don't know, but drop me a text.
I
I do,
and
yeah.
I'll get you connected with everybody.
All right, will do.
All right, rock and roll, guys. Thanks for letting me do a drive-by.
Hey, yeah, always good to hear from you, man. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk to you.
Take care, y'all.
See ya.
Adios.
All right, you guys have a great day.
Bye.